Hi, welcome back to Waxing On. Sorry we took a little bit of a hiatus last week. My big band was back playing for the first time in 4 years. We haven't played since November of 2019, just before the pandemic hit. So it was quite a week. We were excited to be out, but it took a lot of preparation to get a band back together and to get everything set up for a concert. But it was a great gig. And I know some of our viewers were there. I hope you had a great time as well. It was great for us to get back and play in front of a live audience again, and we just can't wait to do it sometime soon again. Today, in honor of that, we're on jazz again, and I had a CD dropped off, and this is one of those classic ones. It's a kind of like a sampler again. It's this one's called the #1 Jazz Album, the all-time greatest jazz hits. And while it's got a lot of individual artists on it, when you look at who else is backing up those artists, there's a who's who of jazz stars. And it's going to take a little bit of reading because I'm going to have a lot of people to have to name out for you here, but please bear with me on that. Let's just take a look. #1 Jazz Stars. CD came with a fold-out package, which is great because, gosh, look at how much information I have on the albums that are there. You can see a little watermark of the jazz guy in there as well. Some great reading in here. Great bunch of musicians are playing on this one. Okay, let's just take a look. First song on there, My Baby Just Cares For Me by Nina Simone. Next one, we've got April in Paris with the Count Basie Orchestra, and they've got some classic players with Basie on this one. We're looking at Marshall Royal and Billy Graham on sax, Frank Foster on sax, trumpets, Thad Jones, Joe Newman, Wendell Cully and Ronald James, trombone players, Harry Coker, Benny Powell, and Bill Hughes. We've got Freddie Green on guitar, and I mean, Freddie Green been with them forever. And on drums, it was Sonny Payne again, who, I mean, he had been there forever. I mean, I remember seeing Basie's band in the 70s, and Sonny Payne was still playing with them at that point. And Wild Bill Davis doing the arranging for that song. So lots of great players on there. Summertime, Ella Fitzgerald. Ella's got Louis Armstrong on vocals and trumpet with her on that. We've got Lullaby of Birdland with George Shearing. I think we talked about George Shearing a while ago when we looked at one of the jazz festivals. Great piano player. We've got Misty by Sarah Vaughan. And this one features the Quincy Jones Orchestra. So a great group of people backing up Sarah Vaughan on that one. Now, they don't list who played in the Quincy Jones Orchestra during this clip. The recording was done 1958, so we have to go back and kind of research and find out, but not going to go wrong with anything involving Quincy Jones, that's for sure. Around Midnight with Miles Davis, and kind of a larger group for Miles on this one. We've got Miles on trumpet, Michel Legrand, conductor and arranger. We got Herbie Mann playing flute, John Coltrane on tenor sax, of course. We got Phil Woods on alto sax. Now there's a change up there. We've got Bill Evans on piano, Paula Chambers on bass, Kenny Dennis on drums. A great recording from back in 1958 as well. Girl from Ipanema, Stan Getz. Another great player. One of the first sax players I saw when I went to the very first jazz festival in Ottawa. When they first initiated that, Stan Getz was the headliner. God Bless the Child, Billie Holiday. And I mean, this is a signature tune for her. Probably one of the most closely associated songs with that artist. I mean, great stuff. Who we got with her here? We got Charlie Shavers on trumpet, Tony Scott on clarinet. We got Wynton Kelly on piano, Kenny Burrell on guitar. Just a great group, and again, great song by Billie Holiday, worth checking out just for that. What a Difference a Day Made with Diana Washington. Sing, 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 Benny Goodman. And coincidentally, that was our opener for the big band concert. Great to get back and open up with a lively tune like that, a little tribute to Benny Goodman. Now, who's he got on here with him on this? Well, we've got on trumpet, we got Johnny McLevy and Derek Watkins. Don't know if that's the same Derek Watkins. I'm going to say probably not, because not in England. Although it was recorded in Stockholm, so you never know. I mean, Derek did some playing around in Germany and those areas with James Last as well. And also on that, we've got Bill McGuffey on piano. Every Day I Have the Blues. Classic tune, Joe Williams. Who else sings it better than him? And being backed by the Count Basie Orchestra. I mean, that is excellent here. And again, Count Basie Orchestra, this time, a lot of the same players. We got Frank Foster still in there. We got, we got Thad Jones, Joe Newman still playing. We've got Freddie Green. We've got Sonny Payne. We've got all the mainstays in there filling out for Count Basie. And you're not going to go wrong with Basie's tunes either. I mean, that's just a great backup band. Mac the Knife, Ella Fitzgerald. Ella is backed up by Jim Hall on guitar this time. Interesting to get Jim in there for a change. Don't mess with the thing. Or it don't mean a thing, sorry. It don't mean a thing, but it ain't got that swing. I should have known that. Again, another one of our classic tunes, Duke Ellington's. Stefan Grappelli, violin on this one. So another great one. I think we've talked about Stefan before, but great recording here. Putting on the Ritz with Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire on vocals. Flip Phillips on tenor sax. Oscar Peterson piano. Barney Kazell on guitar and on bass. Yeah, the great Ray Brown. Ray Brown and Oscar did a lot of work together. A lot of things. Peel Me a Grape with Diana Krall. A little more modern tune there. Night Train with Oscar Peterson. And again, Peterson using that classic trio he's got here. Ed Thigpen on drums. Ray Brown on bass backing him up. Again, Ray. Well, I remember Oscar Peterson used to have a TV show on in Canada. It's called CTV Network. And often Ray would guest on that, and it was just great to see him every week with different trios doing different things. At Last by Etta James, and we wrap up the thing with a Louis Armstrong classic, What a Wonderful World, and he's backed by the Tommy Goodman Orchestra. It's just a great album, a great group of players on here, and it's not just the headliners. I mean, you look at the Miles Davis one or the Count Basie one, you got some great players playing as sidemen or playing in the band. So that's a little bonus on a track like this. And again, some people maybe you'll discover that you haven't listened to before. Maybe you'll go back and listen to some of their albums. I always find these albums with a good cross-section of players really something to treasure, because you never know who you're going to discover. And it's great to discover some of these players inside the band. I never knew Thad Jones was playing with Count Basie. Okay, there we go. #1 jazz album, the all-time greatest jazz hits. Check it out. That's it for Monday on Jazz. We'll be back Wednesday with another fun one. I don't know if you remember, a few weeks ago or maybe a couple months ago now, we looked at a Grammy nominee album. I got another one just popped into the mix here, so we'll take a look at that on Wednesday, and another fun soundtrack for you on Friday. So stick around all week with us. We'll see you then. See you Wednesday. Until then, take care, stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.